Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. You fool is usually not the way most scriptures would address the man on the street. But in the most thought-provoking Bhaja Govindam by Adi Shankaracharya, this is exactly how he addresses the reader in the very first verse of his composition. The idea is to get our attention and also to make us realize that we have such foolish notions in our head. We have so many fallacies in our thinking, and obviously we're not aware of them. And to draw our attention to the misnomers in our logic and in the fallacies in our understandings, he uses this very harsh word of muda when addressing the audience. Bhaja Govindam is his outpouring of love, but it's a hard love, a strict love, one that makes you want to sit up straighter and look at your life and definitely improve the way you're living your life. And so Bhaja Govindam doesn't sugarcoat anything. In fact, it very deliberately lashes out to make us almost shocked into seeing what should have been obvious, but because we're so distracted, we don't quite notice it. Pujya Gurudev's commentary on Bhaja Govindam is written with so much poetry and such precision. I remember when I first read it, I would have to pause every now and then to absorb what he had said, and so often I find myself rereading it just because of the sheer joy of the way he has written it, that when we read it, it not only makes profound sense, but it tickles our intelligence with the way he's combined the words and the examples he's used. These commentaries are available in an ebook from the ashram, and it's a composition originally formed in Sanskrit by Adi Shankaracharya. It's a stotram, meaning it's a composition of verses that gets sung. And so often in families or in villages in India, that would be sung just as something that they liked the tune to. They knew it was a scripture or they knew it was important, but never really went into the meaning of it. When Gurudev goes into the meaning of these verses, we understand that it's not just meant to be sung, it's meant to be understood and thought about. And if we then live with that new understanding, we'll address and experience life with a perspective that will help us have so much more clarity and conviction. It would definitely upgrade the value of our lives. In the next few episodes of this podcast, I will be doing verse by verse from Adi Shankara's Bhaja Govindam, not in the traditional way of reading the verse and explaining the word meaning, but rather taking out the essence of the meaning of the word and just deliberating on it and creating, for both you and I, some food for thought. And actually what I'll be doing is I will be looking at just one aspect of the verse, and so covering it in a rather brief way. Each of these verses can be elaborated on quite extensively. In reading the commentary, you will gain far more and a very different perspective than what I'm covering here in these podcasts. So once again, it's available on Play Store, on iTunes, and on the Kindle. Bhaja Govindam by Swami Chinmaya. And having heard or read and dwelled on it, I'm sure you'll find that the more you think about it, the more you revisit these verses, you'll have a deeper and deeper understanding of it. And in fact, as we live our lives and opportunities come to us, challenges come to us, and we change as a person, and then when we go back to these same verses, again we look at them and think, I thought I understood, but I just scratched the surface. Now I understand so much better. So these verses are gems in that they never fade, they never become boring. They just become more and more engaging, more and more applicable, and our appreciation of them just grows. As I mentioned, we may not chant the verse, or I may not take the actual Sanskrit words, but it will be based on Adi Shankaracharya's Bhaja Govindam.
For more information on Chinmaya Mission, visit our website, chinmayamission.com. For all the young adults out there, to know about our upcoming activities at the nearest Chinmaya Mission Center, visit us at chinmayayuvakendra.org. And for all our parents and teachers listening, please visit chinmayakids.org for an interactive experience of spirituality on a digital platform. Spellings of the website are provided in the description field of the podcast.